ISIS claimed responsibility after a knife-wielding man injured 8 people at a mall in central Minnesota Saturday evening. The attacker reportedly asking at least one victim whether they were Muslim and referenced Allah. Joining us now is our good friend Zuhdi Jasser. Zuhdi, thank you so much. I guess this is the type of attack that we've all feared. Middle America in a mall on the weekend. To my mind, there's no doubt it was obviously ISIS-inspired. Your thoughts?
Well, I think what we need to pay attention to is that this attack occurred in an area where Homeland Security is dumping a lot of resources for countering violent extremism. There were over 40 Somalis that had gone to fight with al-Shabaab, and then they shifted over to ISIS with the propaganda. And not to mention, the local Islamist organizations, CARE and others, have been for a while attacking the CVE, countering violent extremism programs, as being injustices against the Somali community. What that should tell every American is that the entire CVE program isn't even strong enough. It should be countering violent Islamism. We're not countering the ideas. This guy had no violent precursors. He became violent based on an Islamist ideology. He asked the victims if they were Muslim or not. It's about separating the world into the land of Islam, Dar al-Islam, and Dar al-Harb. We aren't going to do this and defeat these threats. These are not lone wolves. We aren't going to defeat it until Muslim reformers begin to counter it, and rather than have these Islamist apologist groups continue to disarm our Homeland Security.
But Zuhdi, that's great, but in reality, that's just not happening, is it?
It isn't, because the political will isn't strong enough, because the platforms for Muslim reformers who are actually realistic about the threat and ready to tell our community that we have tough love to do as far as countering and reforming theocratic ideas that separate the world into us and them, that needs to be defeated. But as long as media, government, and other entities continue the apologetics, even this guy still, after how many attacks, Dahar wasn't even, his name wasn't even put into most news reports until they had to put it in. I mean, how do we do this if we continue to treat my faith community like somehow we're combustible and need to be treated so softly? You're never going to treat the disease.
And you know, it's interesting, President Obama, of course, on the fundraising trail for Hillary Clinton. He's in New York today for the UN General Assembly, and yet we've heard nothing from him at all about the bombs, the devices in New York and New Jersey, or the knife attack in Minnesota.
Because Ashley, the standard operating procedure currently for this administration is denial. It is 10-foot pole marks. It is the lack of admission that we are at war. And that's the only, this is a global ideology. ISIS, their media outlet, took ownership for this. Why? They put out the ideology, and wherever it takes hold, be it in St. Cloud, Paris, Belgium, San Bernardino, they will continue to say that they are winning. And we need a commander-in-chief that will fight this and say that we are responding in war.
Well stated. We'll leave it right there. Zuhdi Jasser, as always, thank you so much. Appreciate